Disinformation, online abuse, fraud, human trafficking, and other kinds of malicious content are growing and getting more complex to track. Any site that allows user-generated content faces the question and challenge of how to protect their users from harm, while not censoring content that doesn't fall into these categories. ActiveFence helps internet companies deal with content that can range from child pornography to Nazism by using AI to map relationships between conversations. So Noam, how does ActiveFence identify and stop malicious content from proliferating online?
We're building AI models that are able to detect malicious content like at scale at any single type of platform. And the way we do that is by really understanding the way bad actors are operating. Whether if it's scammers, people who distribute child sexual abuse materials, Nazis, terrorists, we're understanding the way they communicate. We have a lot of researchers that are understanding the way they try to avoid detection, the way they communicate, the way they distribute their content. And this is training our models that are able to find that content at scale.
But those things are so different when you think about child pornography versus terrorist chatter, for example. That's just so different, the content. How do you tackle that?
We have a lot of models, hundreds of models that are targeted for specific types of content, across specific type of languages and specific type of formats. So we're able to understand imagery and video and audio and text for those different abusers. And definitely this information is so different from Nazi content.
And so you're partnering with the big platforms and also helping companies. There's a big difference between those two. So how do you prioritize the types of clients you're trying to go after?
We work with everybody who is willing to stop hateful content.
Which we hope is everyone.
Yeah,
right?
It's to date we didn't encounter someone saying, "Yeah, I don't care about stopping those like terrible things like in my platform." Thank God. And the way that we do that is we're going with social networks, gaming platforms, financial services, everything.
So you're looking at the content and ingesting it, and then applying algorithm models to identify malicious content?
So we have different set of solutions. We have like tools for the entire company, the entire trust and safety teams in those companies to run their entire operations. We have data products that they can send us data and we can score it, and they're the proactive data solution that we're looking in their platforms and actually proactively finding those bad content even before someone has an opportunity to flag it.
The system to actually detect and capture this content, can you talk a little bit about that? How have you developed these models?
We started by understanding the way bad actors are working and looking into their messaging platforms, for example. So everywhere from bad websites of ISIS where they discuss their where they distribute incitement and propaganda or hate speech, Nazis, and child sexual abuse materials, taking that and training the algorithms to actually find them in other places. So by using the keywords, by using the patterns, by using all kinds of other signals, we are able to detect those in real time.
But there's, as we say, there's like a mutating threat and they're getting more sophisticated. So how does the system handle something that it hasn't seen before?
We have a lot of researchers across many different abuse areas.
Okay.
And they are all the time learning the new tactics and the way that bad actors are trying to evade detection across many different languages. And they are at the source. They are like at the forefront. A lot of them are writing also for academic institutions about those topics. Many of them are veterans of intelligence agencies, and they are eventually.
So they sort of have the experience to really analyze what's being done and say, this is something nefarious.
Exactly, like bringing the power of like big data and intelligence together to stop bad actors online is eventually our secret sauce.